And that's a good segue to the final reading we're going to have you do.
Right.
Which
tell about who.
So anyone who knows our show, but way back when we were on our other platform, John and I would have a frequent guest on, Mary Seton Corboy from Greensboro in Philadelphia, and she really is a pioneer in urban farming. And started, and so started a number of offshoots of it. But PBS, CBS This Morning, you name it, she was on it, and Aaron profiled her in one of her books called The O Life. Mm-hmm. And after Aaron had come down to visit her at the farm, Mary contacts me and says, I met this woman and she lives in New York, and I think she'd be great for you and John to have on the show. So I said, okay, and since here we are many years later,
right.
And thankful of Mary Seton. Yeah. Mary struggled with cancer for 12 years and finally passed away in August. But before she did, she had sent you a passage.
That's correct.
And so in honor of Mary Seton, and we love if you could share what she'd sent you.
Okay, this is called the Principal's Award. After a certain point in my freshman year, my principal, Sister A, called me in and said, "Let's save some paper, Mary Seton. Assume you have detention until you hear otherwise." She was bad.
Yeah, she was bad.
I even spent Saturdays folding napkins in the basement of the convent. Recently, Sister A came to me in a dream, and she means that really seriously came to her in a dream at night when I was ill, appearing like a beacon or maybe a nightmare. What was she doing there? There couldn't possibly be more detention. I had served my time. "It's not all fun, is it, Mary Seton?" she said. "Not everything is a joke. People are depending on you to make decisions. They need you." I assumed she was speaking about my business and the folks who work for me. But why was she back to bother me? I had been, after all, her Achilles heel. Everybody knew that. I was always out of uniform. I stole the teacher's bathroom key over and over again and placed it right inside my locker with a sign that said, "Teacher's bathroom key here." She knew. She knew I knew. She never stooped down to my level, though. Sister A didn't stoop to anybody's level. Teachers, parents, the Holy Father, the students, we were all afraid of her. She never raised her voice. She never threw things. She was just herself. One week, word came down that Sister A's father had died. We had never thought of her as a person with a family. We thought she'd arrived on Earth fully formed as Sister A. Mm-hmm. I didn't like the idea of funerals, and I knew that this would be a mandatory all-school mass. I just did not want to go, and I felt strongly about it. I girded myself and I said to her, "Sister, I'm sorry about your loss, but I don't like funerals, and I don't believe in God. I cannot attend your father's funeral mass." I waited for the wrath. As usual, she had no expression. And then she touched my shoulder, looked me in the eye, and said, "You are excused for Mass today, Mary Seton. I'm sure you'll find something useful to do in the library. You will be unsupervised." I realized I had a chance to show her what I was really made of. She knew in that moment that there was more to me, and in that moment, I knew it too. I graduated at the bottom of my class. But at the ceremony, I received the Principal's Award, the highest honor in the school, anyway. Sister A and I shook hands solemnly as my classmates and the teachers all cheered. "Mary won!" they all screamed. "I'd brought down the Wicked Witch." But had I really? In that one moment, she had changed my life. She had made me understand that to lead, you had to love. You had to be bigger than anything around you. You had to find the way in the dark. You had to care. Leading was not edicts. It was in caring about the people you led, always introducing the intangibles of life into the equation, always wanting to do the right thing. I didn't go out to change the world that graduation day. It would take many, many decades before I introduced the word "we" into my vocabulary. But when I did, it came out naturally. I knew who I was, and I was ready to do what I knew I could do, what I was meant to do, to lead. Such a great story.
Mary Seton Corboy, who we profiled in a beautiful, one-of-a-kind interstitial that Tim
Yes, on
did.
Logo.
That's how I found her.
And
is that really how you
That's
found
correct,
her?
yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize
I
that.
did, uh-huh.
my God, I had no idea she did the Catholic school thing. It was Catholic school.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh, and not only that, she was probably in she's probably laughing at us now, but I think she had gone to either 5 or 6 colleges.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, she got tired of one, go right to a new one, right to something else.
And then she stopped being a chef because people twice came after her with a knife.
She worked for Andrew Wyeth. If you're a
That's
fan
the
of,
other
if you're a
thing.
fan of Andrew Wyeth, and the
Painter.
painting of the Liberal is her aged to 80.
Wow.
Oh, is that right?
If you look at it, it looks fantastic.
Well, she worked for him too, I think, being a property manager and ran the John Deere into the river. That was also the end of that job.
Yeah. Well, she's yeah. No, there's so many Mary. You can do a book on Mary.